Hi guys, welcome to another video and welcome to my channel. And today we're gonna look at my November Shop My Stash. I've actually have quite a lot of things right in front of me, so without further ado, let's just jump right into it. If this is your first time here, hi, my name's Sasha. I love indie makeup, I love eyeshadows, I love spooky stuff. I'm not that much into like foundations and primers and stuff like that. I'm more into the fun, colorful things. So hope that interests you. There's a lot of lip products, there's a lot of eyeshadow palettes and like eye products. So hopefully that is something that you like as well. And if you do, I would be happy to see you here in my other videos. I make these Shop My Stash videos every single month, and I also come back at the end of the month to tell you how much I've used each of these products. Soon after this video, I will release the October Shop My Stash recap, where I will exactly show you how many times I've used each of these products, each of the products from last month, and you can see how much I use products as someone who reviews makeup once in a while and also tries to go through my collection a lot. Now these Shop My Stash aren't like things that I only want to use. For this month I will use a lot of other things as well, but I want to focus more on these and try to get more uses out of them. So there's a lot of palettes, but I feel like we should keep the palettes to the end. And I will start with lips actually. We'll go from lips up. I have these lipsticks from Unearthly Cosmetics. These are the Devour collection lip products. They're all in this like crystal packaging. I will show you closer look. This is the one that I'm actually wearing today. It's called Predator and it's a lip gloss, kind of like a multi-chrome lip gloss that has like green, pink, gold in it. So that one's beautiful. As I said, this is my last look with the Devour collection like review, so which is already up on my channel if you wanna see that. And I'm also swatching all of these products. So there's this lip gloss, then there's also lip gloss in the shade Havoc, which is this like a magenta pinky base with like green gold glitters in it or like particles in it. Then there's a lip oil in the shade Ruin, which is beautiful, like berry color, super comfortable on the lips. And then there's these three satin lipsticks. There's like dark gray called Chomp, there is a green shade called Yummy, and then there's like a beigey gray shade called Destroy. I've worn all of these lip products once so far, except the lip oil. I've already worn the lip oil like 3 times or so. So yeah, I just wanna, since it's new, I wanna wear it, I wanna try different combinations, and I wanna wear it not just with the Devourer palette that will come up soon, but also with the different products as well. And then another lipstick that I have here, this one is from V Cosmetics. I've already had this one in my previous Shop My Stash. This is kind of like it was supposed to be orange lipstick, but it's actually more reddish. It's called Punk AF. I bought it, I think it was Christmas last year, but I've received it in like January or maybe beginning of February, because it took a while to get to me. But yeah, it's kind of, I feel like in the packaging it almost looks pinky, but it's like a true red. And as I said, I thought it's gonna be orange. But yeah, I don't wear these shades as often, but since it's November and like technically the fall is kind of ending for me anyways. I feel like fall or like autumn is mainly September, October, and then November is like the end of it. Especially where I live, it gets pretty like dark and cold during November, so it's more beginning of winter for me. But I want to use this couple times more because again, it's a lipstick. They're not supposed to. You're not supposed to have them for forever. So I want to get a little bit more uses out of this because I don't think I will wear it a lot during winter. So these are all lip products. So we have like 7 lip products. I will try to use these a lot. I also have the Halloween collection lipsticks that I will also try to rotate. But yeah, I've picked these to be in my Shop My Stash. Then for the face, I have... First, let's start with blushes. So again, I have the Fresh Face from Berry M in the shade Summer Rose. This is a pink blush. I've actually used it quite a lot in the last month when I had the purple hair. And I think I was like right here and now I'm down here. Or like there's nothing in this area, and here I can see that it's just like on the walls, but I think most of the product it's like just in this lower part. So I might finish it this year, and I really want to. I would wish for this to be in my empties either for November or December. So yeah, I want to finish this one up. That's why I keep putting it into these videos so that I will actually get some uses out of it. Then we have the Revolution Fast Base Blush. Again, I've had it in my previous Shop My Stash. It's a like liquidy product, or well, it's a stick, but you know, I usually try to use my non-powder products as quickly as possible. So this is in the shade Peachy. I did actually use it a couple of times, and I want to keep using it. This one is kind of like my neutral blush. It's not too pink, it's not too orange. It's a very peachy wearable color, and it's almost the same color as my lips. That's why I consider it neutral blush, because it just floats well with my complexion. And as I said, it's pretty much the same color as my lips, so I usually try to match my blush with the lip color that I have. And since I don't actually have to wear any lipstick with this one to match, it's kind of a win-win. And then another blush that I hope I'm gonna use up this year is this She Glam Color Bloom Day Glow Liquid Blush in the shade Flow Down. This is the orange blush. It has this like spongy applicator, and I'm getting some good uses out of it. I think I've used it like 37 times so far. I have a little list, and I've actually written how many uses are there on these products at the beginning of the month. So then and I keep like Excel spreadsheets, so at the end of the month I will count how many times it was used. But yeah, I've been using it quite a lot, and I want to finish it. Then to go from blushes to highlighters, I have this Devour collection from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is the Devour Blush and Highlighter Duo. So since it's new, I want to keep using it. I think I'll get a lot of uses out of the highlighter, not so much from the blush, we'll see. I've mentioned in my review that I'm not completely sure if this is a right color for me. I am wearing it today with the highlighter as well, but I don't know if it's gonna be a perfect shade for me. But I wanna keep wearing it, and I wanna keep trying it and see if I'll fall in love with it or not. The last highlighter, again, the She Glam. This is the Chroma Glow Bloom Liquid Highlighter in the shade Flying Comet, which is a shade that I bought when I was first trying the She Glam formula. I bought this, and I bought the blush as well. Since then, I also bought another blush from another highlighter from them in this series. or like from this series, but this one is older, the Flying Comet, and I just want to get some more uses out of it. I've noticed that because it's kind of like a white, I don't know if you can see, but it's like a white base and it has like different reflects in it once you blend it into the skin. But because it has white base, you can actually see it kind of, not that it would erase the blush underneath it, but it kind of moves it a bit. And because it's white base, it almost looks like on the area where you put it, it looks like there's no blush underneath, and then there's just like your skin, and the blush is everywhere except the area where you put this, and you can just see the sheen. And I think that has something to do with the white base, because it kind of like cancels out the blush almost. So I mix it with the blush. I'm using the technique that I've saw Angelica Nyquist to use. So I put like 2 dabs of blush, and in between I put a 1 dab of this, and then I blend it together. And that has worked for me, and it doesn't, I don't have any like white streaks on my face. I don't know why I haven't noticed it sooner, or maybe if it just started doing it now, I don't know. But yeah, so I have to mix it with the blush, with a liquid blush, obviously. So those are face products, and now for the last face product, I have the Essence Multitask Concealer in the shade 10 Peachy Ivory. I've already used like half of it because it has kind of one of those like spinny things at the end, and it kind of pushes the product out. So I can see that there's the like the little particle that pushes it out, it's in the middle of the compartment. So I'm halfway done. The reason for that is because the spinny thing, it doesn't work the best, and usually it kind of like I've had to fix this many times because it would either fall out or it just doesn't really work the best. It kind of like pushes the cap or like the back out of the compartment when you try to squeeze a little bit. So what I usually have to do, I spin it like 2 times, and then I have to press the back of the compartment back into the thing, and then like some of the product will push out into this pan. I don't know if that makes sense. English is not my first language, so I hope this makes sense. I feel like I should film how this works so that you can see what it does. I don't know if it's just my compartment or if it's just like a shitty product. Well, I like the product inside of it. I just wish it was in different packaging because the packaging is very cheap. But I like the product. It is a little bit more like, not a drier formula, but it's a little bit more thicker. It sets itself, you don't have to powder it. And it doesn't crease actually, which is very nice. And it has a nice coverage. This one is kind of yellowy, the peachy, what is it called? Peach Ivory. It has a lot of yellow in it, which I like because it covers the dark circles a little bit better. And yeah, I really like it. I like more light coverage, very serum-y concealers. The concealer that I've completely used up from last month and that I've been loving for the past year is the Rimmel Lasting Radiance Concealer. And this one is a really nice runner-up. As I said, it has more coverage, it's not as radiant, and it's more dry, but it doesn't crease, it covers the dark circles, and it doesn't look cakey or weird under the eyes. So I actually quite like this one. I know Essence had different concealer a while back that was also in this kind of like squeezy tube with the brush applicator. It was just a little bit slimmer, and I also like that one. I think it was like 4 years ago, or maybe even longer than that. But yeah, I like that one, and I like this one as well. I just wish that they would put it in a different packaging because the packaging is really annoying. Now, for the eye area, we're gonna start with brows. I have 2 products. I have the She Glam Brows on Demand 2-in-1 brow pencil. I bought it a couple months ago. I've already used it many times. I don't know how many times I've used it because I forgot to count it because I'm stupid. But it has kind of like a brush, like calligraphy brush applicator on one side, and then it has a pencil on the other. I actually already used up the pencil. I only have the brush, but the brush still has a lot of product in it, so I think I will use it up this month because I don't assume that there's too much of a product left. And I have one more of these, so for the second one I will actually count how many uses you get in this product, but for this month I will only count how many times I was able to use it in this month. So yeah, I don't know why, because I have a slot for this in the Excel spreadsheet. I actually have like the title for it, and I have a little slot there. I just forgot to count how many times I've used it, so don't know why. And then I have the Maybelline Tattoo Brow Pomade in the shade 01 Top. I've had it in my last Shop My Stash as well. I've used it a couple times. As you can see, I'm just like scraping the sides. I think this is my last month using it because it's getting really dried up, and I have to like really scrape it to get the product out. So yeah, I think this is gonna be the last month that I'll use it, and then in the December I will declare it, no matter whether it's finished or not, because I've had it for more than a year. I'm pretty sure I was using it last winter as well, and I probably had it before that as well. So yeah, it's old. It's supposed to last you 24 months, but mine is kind of dried up, so I don't think it will last that long. And I don't use this shade as often nowadays. And yeah, I don't love the way it looks anymore, because again, it's just harder to use. When I first bought it, it was very creamy and it was super easy to draw with it, but now it's just annoying. Then I have two mascaras. So I have the Rimmel Extra Super Lash Mascara. I've already used this one like 44 times, so I think there's only a couple uses out of this. It's a very goopy, chunky, kind of weird mascara. It's very like runny, goopy formula. It almost looks like liquid glue. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just goopy, and it's not the best. It says that it builds a natural to dramatic look. It only coats your lashes black. It doesn't do anything else. If it does something else, it's that it glues them together and it just clumps them into one big mess. It doesn't separate, it doesn't volumize, and you can't build on it. It doesn't really want to dry completely, and you can't really build on it properly. Yeah, it says that it's super lash separation. No, it doesn't separate lashes at all. It clumps them together. And yeah, I don't like the brush either. It has too many spaces, and the bristles are too short to actually do anything. So I don't love that one. A mascara that I do quite like actually is the Maybelline falsies Surreal. It's this kind of like light lavender one. I've used this one 30 times. There's still quite a lot of it left. I like the wand a little bit better because the bristles are longer and they're closer together, and they actually brush the eyelashes. I'm wearing it today. Granted, since I've already used it 30 times, there's a little bit less product and it's not as dramatic as it was when it was new, but I still love it, and this one might become one of my favorite mascaras of this year. Not the favorite probably, but I think it's gonna be in number 3. I think it's gonna be in the top 3, because I actually really like it. It's actually really good. And now for the eyes, the moment we've been waiting for. So first of all, I want to get some uses out of my Suva UV Taffy liners. These are kind of like the Hydra liners that you put like water or setting spray and then you can draw with it. And I have these like neon-y shades, which are super pretty. I think I'm gonna buy another one of these palettes from Suva. I think I saw one, it was like purple packaging. I think there were split pans and one of them was matte and the other one was metallic, if I remember correctly, and it was this size of a palette. So I might buy that. I saw it on Beauty Bay and I think I'm gonna get it because I like the Suva liner formula and I like these palettes. They're usually for quite a nice price and I've used them a lot in the summer, and then the last 2 months I haven't worn them that often, and I want to get back into more like colorful graphic looks because there were a lot of things happening in the past 2 months and I just didn't have time. But I want to get back to it in November and December to just, you know, be a little bit more creative. And now for the palettes. I've picked quite a bit of palettes actually, just because some of them are new, some of them are palettes that I want to get into because I've had them for a while and didn't touch them for a while, and some of them are palettes that are in my autumn palette collection. I do like a palette collection every 3 months for the season, so and November is the last month of autumn, so this is kind of my last chance of playing with these palettes, and then we're gonna go into winter palettes. So beginning of December there will be a winter palette collection video, don't worry. But yeah, some of these palettes I've had them in the autumn collection and I want to get some more uses out of them because again I come back every 3 months and share with you how many uses I've actually got with these palettes, because again it's just like, for me, these collections and these like shop my stash and videos like that are just to make me use these palettes more. It doesn't mean that I cannot use any other palettes. I usually use more than one palette. I usually use more than one palette for a video or like for a look, so it's just for me to actually get some more uses out of them. That's it. And like some of the palettes that I've had in my autumn palette collection, I've already used them a lot. Like I know there are palettes that had like 7 uses in them and now there's like 15 uses. So I've used them a lot, but these were palettes that I either haven't used all that much or I want to get some more uses. So we're gonna start. There's not gonna be really much of an order with these. Let's just go. I just have like a stack in front of me and we're just gonna go in the order that I've put them. So first I have the Merry Christmas palette from Oden's Eye, and the reason why this one is in the November Shop My Stash is because this one is more like a autumn color story. So again, I want to use it more since it's still kind of autumny weather. And then in December I will switch this one for the Christmas Eve palette. So yeah, I want to get some more uses out of it. This one is on my project pan for this year, so I have 2 pans and I would like to get another pan either this month or the next month. I might get a pan in the black shade because I use it as my eyeliner. I always spray it with setting spray and I use it as an eyeliner. I have quite a bit of a dip in this New Year shade, and this one is also getting quite a lot of uses, so I hope I'm gonna get some pans soon. And yeah, this is like a perfect fall color story. I have to use these brownie orangey shades more. I think I've only used them once throughout autumn, so I want to use them some more and get more uses out of this palette, since it's also my Shop My Stash, since it's also my Project Pan palette. Then the next palette is one of the newer ones. It's the Cosmic Brushes Delicious Delight, Cosmic Brushes Gothic palette. I've made a video about this a couple days ago, so if you want to see that, I will link it down below, and I will put it in the little card. I will probably link all of the reviews I have for these palettes, if I'll remember to do it. So the Gothic palette, I've already used it 8 times, 3 times on the in the review video, and then 5 times on its own. I've also used it for my last Halloween look of the season on the 31st of October, so if you want to see that, I will also link it. And yeah, this one is beautiful. It's a more like for me this is more cooler, like wintry color story, so it will definitely go into my winter collection as well. But since it's new, I wanna have some uses in it as well, and it's a really nice companion palette. In my opinion, you have a lot of dark shades. I want to use it a little bit more with the Delights palette as well. So yeah, and again, it's new, so we're gonna use it. Then I have the Sprinkle a Little Magic from Colourpop. This is the Tinkerbell palette, and I think it's like a year since I bought it. I think I got it like November last year. I haven't used it a lot last year. I've started using it more this year actually. And this is gonna be my project pen for next year. I've already decided that. And because I want to use it as a magnetic palette on its own once I finish using the shades that are in here. This is how she looks like. Don't mind these two shades. This is a shade from the Legend of Korra palette from Colourpop, and it's the shade Endgame. And this is a Nomad Cosmetics shade, and it's called Royal Orb, I believe. So I put these here because they make more sense with this palette than what was there before. This shade, the shade that was originally here, is kind of like a deeper version of this shade, which I barely use. And then the shade that was here, I actually moved it to my Legend of Korra palette, so I will show you shortly. I've already hit pan on this middle shade. This is called Pixie Dust, and that's because A, it's beautiful green, and it's probably the most sparkliest shade I have from Colourpop. So yeah, I think I will be able to hit pan. I have quite a bit of a dip here, and I haven't used this palette for quite a while. And I love these greens. I usually pick this palette when I just want a quick everyday look, because this is my neutral palette. This is my everyday neutrals. Does it make sense for most people? No, but I have kind of greenish eyes, so for me these are neutrals and I love them. So that's the Sprinkle a Little Magic. And I've also picked the Legend of Korra palette from Colourpop. This one is kind of like the biggest surprise of this year. I didn't expect to like this palette as much as I do, especially the blue shades. These are phenomenal. I've moved a couple of the shades. So this shade was the shade Balance. It was like a matte brown. I didn't needed that, so instead I put the shade from the Tinkerbell palette, and it's the Small Fairy. So the shade Small Fairy from the Tinkerbell palette is here because it's more like a bronzy with a little bit of green, and it fits more this palette than the other one in my opinion. And then I have this shade. So this was the light green shade that I've put in the Tinkerbell palette. This shade is from Terra Moons, and it's the shade Star Sign, I believe. Let me actually check. Yes, Star Sign. I want to get more shades from Terra Moons, but so far I only have this. I am really close on finishing this well, really close. I already have a pan in this shade. This is kind of their jelly squishy, like I think these are called Super Shocks from Colourpop. I use it as a face highlighter because it's too oily for me to use on the eyes. So once I use this one up, I will move the Terra Moon shade here, and I will put back in here the shade that I've put in the Tinkerbell palette. But yeah, I really like how the palette is looking now with the 2 minor changes that I've made with it, and I want to use it some more. I mostly use it for the blues because the blues, especially the blue mattes, are just phenomenal in this one. But I want to get some more uses out of the yellows and the greens in this palette, so that's this one. I've already used this palette 25 times, and I'll definitely get some more uses out of it. And again, I think I will move this into my project pan for next year, because since it's like a magnetic palette, I just wanna have it like a magnetic palette for my Terra Moons shades, or like a Makeup Beauty Shop shades that I am planning to buy as a present for Christmas for myself. So those are these two. Then I have the Oden's Isolmane 2 palette. The reason why it's here is because it was in my autumn palette collection and I've only used it once since I released that video. So I need to use it some more. I think I will use it with the new Halloween bundle, with the Little Ghost palette and with the Trick or Treat palette. I think this will be nice, like companion to these two. So that's why it's here, because I've already used it. I've only used it once since I've made the video, and I want to get some uses out of it. So that's the Solmane. Then I have the Makeup Beauty Shop and Martha's Makeup Serpent palette. This one is also in my autumn palette collection. Again, I just want to get more uses out of it. So far I've used it 17 times. I think there were like 13 uses when I filmed the autumn palette video. So I did use it a couple times, but I want to use it some more, especially for these like yellowy orangey shades. I feel like I don't use them enough and I want to get some more uses out of them. And yeah, it's just, she's so beautiful. This one's gonna be one of my favorite palettes from this year, because it's everything that I could ever ask for. And yeah, I want to get more uses out of it. And then we have the 2 Unearthly palettes. So this is the Devourer palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today. I've only used it 3 times so far in the review video. Tomorrow I will start filming with the Fall Magic palette, and then once I finish filming 3 looks with the Fall Magic, I will use both of them together. So yeah, I only have 1 use of this in this month. And yeah, since it's new, I'm obviously gonna be using it, because I always try to use every single shade 3 times before I make my final monthly haul review video, which will come up in the beginning of December. I always post it beginning of the next month. So I will definitely have to use it a couple more times to give you like an official final review. But so far I really like this one, and as I said, I'm gonna use it with the Fall Magic. I want to use it together with the Lord palette, because I feel like that could also be really nice, and I want to use it with some of my Little Cosmetics single shades that I have, because a lot of them would really fit with this theme. So yeah, you will see this a lot. And then the Fall Magic. I haven't opened this yet. I haven't played with this yet. I will start playing with it tomorrow, as I said. So obviously I will be using this one. It makes sense. And also, it's a fall palette. I wish they would release this like in September, because for me, like buying a palette or getting a palette in the beginning of November that is supposed to be for fall isn't the wisest choice from the brand, because like that's pretty much when autumn ends for me. I don't think, like, I mean, I love autumnal color stories and I wear them pretty much all year round. That's also why I got it immediately as it got to Europe. But I know that even the people who ordered it from the US website, because I ordered these on Monolith, Even people in the US, I don't think they've got it sooner than I did. At least not that much sooner, because I think they started shipping it at the end of October, which that's just a little bit late in my opinion. Just like marketing wise, and the same for the Devour. It started shipping uh, not that long before Halloween, which what's the I just don't understand why would you buy a Halloween palette a week before Halloween, because then you're only like gonna use it 2-3 times, and then like the Halloween's over and you're not gonna use it for the until next year, right? The same for autumn palette. Why would you, or like fall palette, why would you release it at the end of the season? I think Amanda, the owner, said that there were a couple complications. I don't know if it was with this launch or with other launches, but I think I've heard her say that in one of her like live stream videos. So maybe that's the reason. But I just like when I get seasonal palettes in the beginning of the season, not at the end of the season. But because it's fall based, I want to get a lot of uses out of it now, before the fall actually ends. And maybe that's also me being in a Central Europe. Maybe in US you have autumn for longer than us, but like it's getting pretty cold and it's getting pretty like dark here, especially after the change of the time. I don't know how it's called in English, but like the when it moved 1 hour backward, it's just like you don't have enough, there's not that much of light in the day, and it's just kind of really gloomy and dark, and it's getting cold, so it feels more like a winter than a fall some of these days. So I just don't get it. But that's also me being from Europe. So yeah, I will show you the inside of it in the review, because I want to open it on camera for the review. But yeah, this one will also be is also on my Shop My Stash, and I will use it a lot. So yeah, these are all the products that I want to focus on in the month of November. Let me know what are your picks for this month, and like what products you want to focus on. Let me know if you have any of these and how often you use them, if you have them, especially for some of the older releases. Let me know how often you actually use them, and maybe if this video inspired you to use them more. So yeah, that's it from me. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will be very happy to see you in my next video. I'm trying to post more videos. I hope you've noticed it, that in October I've been trying to be like very active here. So hopefully I'll see you soon, and I hope you like the videos that I've been posting. If you have a video idea that you want me to film, I have no problem with that. Let me know down below, and I will be happy to film anything that you're interested in. So yeah, that's it from me. Have a great day, and I will be happy to see you in my next video. Bye!